Hello. Today we are going to explore how customers will not lower their expectations just because you lower your prices. Some time ago, a friend saw this online ad for an international super 5-star hotel in Qingdao, giving a very attractive promotion. A night stay that was selling at US $127 in the same period just a year ago is now sold only at $70 net. And they even threw into international buffet breakfast to boot. Since my friend was making a trip in that general direction anyway, she thought she might as well take up the offer and booked 2 nights with her husband up there. This could well be a well-deserved post-COVID-19 mini honeymoon for her and her husband. Except that it was not the case. After staying in that hotel for 2 nights, my friend said she will never ever stay in that hotel again. Amongst the list of complaints were, due to the reduced number of hotel guests, the selection of dishes for the international buffet breakfast, so-called, was so limited, she'd rather eat out at the street vendors' selections. Due to COVID-19 prevention, the swimming pool was not open, as well as the gym is not open as well, something which was only mentioned in the fine print. The hotel was severely understaffed by very inexperienced staff, such that the staff could not even provide simple answers to guest enquiries, etc. After her ordeal with the hotel, my friend summed it up and saying that just because the hotel lowered their prices by a large factor, that didn't mean that customers will reduce their expectations. Instead, customers will maintain the same levels of expectations, discounts or not. So there's pressure to drop prices. Let's face it, with lockdowns happening globally and the economy is in the doldrums, there is hardly any demand to buy whatever you have to offer. And whenever there is a genuine buyer, that buyer is going to be surrounded by hordes of sellers trying to make the sale. The pressure to drop price from buyers and the competition is enormous. Even when the buyer is not asking for a discount, sellers tend to offer great discounts to entice the buyer. Many sellers are forced to drop price if they were to make any sales in this very challenging period. For the record, I'm in no way saying that we as sellers should never drop prices. In fact, our humble consulting practices have also reduced rates in some circumstances, which I'll elaborate further. What I would like to highlight is that even when you drop prices to the extent that you literally give away your product for free, customers will still retain the same level of expectations before you give any discounts. While this can happen to the hospitality industry as shown above, the same phenomena apply to any industry and market. If sellers expect to deliver a lower standard due to the decrease in prices and customers, they will be in for root shock. Eventually, if sellers are not careful, they may win the sale at the expense of losing customers and tarnishing the brand. It's about communicating customers' expectations. So if there's this huge pressure to drop price, and if you drop price, you probably will not be able to deliver to the same levels of service or performance. How then do you then deal with this situation? Remember I mentioned that my consultancy has also reduced our fees in certain circumstances. Here's what happened. I have been facilitating many face-to-face workshops for many clients in China, and due to the travel restrictions imposed by China and many other countries, I could not travel to China even with valid work visas. For the clients that require my services in China, I could only conduct online facilitation for them. To sweeten the deal, I would say that we could do a certain percentage markdown on our fees if they feel that an online facilitation isn't quite the same as a face-to-face one. In the context of communicating customers' expectations, I already have gotten my customers to set a lower expectation. They know that I could not be with them in person, so my lowering of fees was positioned as a gesture of me understanding their concerns, and I responded accordingly. Does that mean I would lower the quality of my delivery? Absolutely not. In one case, we had a client who didn't want us to reduce our fees. Instead, they required us to invest a lot of time together with them to go through the various iterations of the online workshops with them to make sure that the participants will get the best possible facilitation with an online version of me. In other words, while we are grateful for the client for not pushing for a lower rate, we literally worked our bums off by putting extra hours to strive for perfection. Since they have been a great customer of ours for many years, we gladly do so for them. So what does this imply for the rest of us? As a reduction in prices or budgets could very well mean that there could be reductions in the scope of work or the quality being delivered, it may be wise to use these reductions as a bargaining chip with the customer. In our case, it could be the fact that I couldn't be physically present with our customers, which I said up front. If the customer is pressuring you to reduce prices, you may ask to trade a reduction of price with some reduction in service, or you can give a longer delivery lead time. Put these trade-offs up front so that customers know fully well that they would have to adjust their expectations to enjoy a price saving. It's about being upfront. In the context of the hotel example that was mentioned earlier, doing so might mean reducing the appeal of the price discount. Imagine the hotel putting up an ad saying that enjoy 50% off our regular rate. Do note that the selection of our otherwise sumptuous breakfast might be cut in half, and so will be our service staff, and the pool is not available too. Right, so I don't think many people will be attracted by that, but it probably will not work that way. But how one can still put a positive spin by adapting the message into something like, welcome to our new streamlined mode of operations to cope with the COVID-19 new normal. Some of the service will be on a self-service mode, and the swimming pool is closed due to health restrictions. To make it up to you, we will be providing our specially prepared breakfast set meals for all guests for free. And we are giving 50% discount off our regular rates. While such a rephrasing may not always work for all customers, at the very least, your brand and reputation will not be tarnished. You are likely to get customers to return, and even for those whom choose not to buy from you now, you could still win them over when things resume back to normalcy. Happy selling, and please leave your comments about the challenges you face when selling in the COVID-19 new normal. My name is CJ Ng, and I'm a certified Scrum Master, a certified coach, and works with management and sales teams to get better sales results through people. You can click on the LinkedIn page, look for my LinkedIn, and I can be your coach to coach you to greater success. I look forward to working with you soon. See you later.